And good evening, everyone. Mariners are in Oakland, where they already do have a victory in their hands from yesterday from a very close win. And must I say, I have good news and bad news. Of course, the good news is the Mariners won. The bad news is Andres Munoz is hurt, and it's still unclear where his status is at. Scott Service hasn't said really much of anything, but no word. There was no roster moves, and there's no word on if Munoz has to go on some kind of an IL, but hopefully he doesn't have to. And I think, Steve, you had some insight. You probably saw something from Twitter X on what Scott Service was really saying.
Yeah, and according to Scotty Munoz was dealing with a lower back injury for the last couple of weeks, but he was able to pitch through it with treatment. So, yeah, last night wasn't exactly the greatest look for Munoz, and I mean, if you're paying close attention to his performance, it almost looked like he was stretching out his back while pitching. So I would probably assume that they're going to give him a few days off just to decompress and continue with treatment. And if he doesn't respond, I would probably assume we'll see a corresponding roster move, maybe a 10-day DL stint. And of course, you're talking about a guy who last year started the season on the DL. So injuries are nothing new to a guy like that. But this is also a bullpen that can't afford to not have him pitching. So I would probably assume that any save situations, you're probably going to see Ryan Stanek in that role, maybe a combined with Gabe Spire, depending on the matchups. But they'll figure it out. But that being said, at this junction, this baseball team can ill afford to have Andres Munoz on the DL.
They really can't afford it. Like, absolutely can't afford it. Which gives me ideas. Like, a couple things I've noticed is Paul Sewald, he's on Arizona. The Cardinals they're not doing too hot this season. And let me take a look at his numbers, because there have been people saying it on Twitter X, including me, that maybe they should try to go for him. Right now, he has an 0.96 ERA, 6 saves. So with that kind of appearance and that kind of numbers he had, I would wonder if the Diamondbacks would probably ask for a ransom on that one.
I don't think so. Don't get me wrong. For as good as Sewald is, the idea that they could get something, could get a haul back for him at this stage, I would probably assume it might be something about what they gave up last year to get him, which is going to be that level of player. But that being said, you can also make a call to the Miami Marlins and find out if Tanner Scott's available. If you're asking me right now, which high leverage reliever, if the price is right, and they want to bring back Sewald, I don't have a problem with that. But that being said, there are options out there on the open trade market to get to bring in another high leverage reliever. Obviously everybody likes Sewald because the team is familiar with him, and I would love to have him back as well too. But there are different options out there for the Mariners to go out there and to bring back a high leverage reliever.
Another option that I was thinking of is the Blue Jays just recently sent down Eric Swanson to the minors. So maybe the Mariners can swoop in a quick one on Eric Swanson to bring him back. I mean, what a dream it would be to bring back Eric Swanson and Paul Sewald to this rotation. Like, it would almost make up, if not really make up, for the fact that Matt Brash is out for the season.
Well, the problem with Swanson right now is, in 13 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 14 earned runs on 20 hits, walks. He's given up 4 walks. He's also given up 5 home runs. He's got an ERA of 9.22 and a FIP of 7.30. So he's actually he actually has gotten hammered this year. Last year was a very good year for him, and the year before, obviously in Seattle, he actually pitched pretty well, 53 2/3 innings pitched. So it's this year notwithstanding, he has been effective. The other option, Toronto also has another option in Jordan Romano as well too. But that being said, the good news for the Mariners, if Eric Swanson is something that they're targeting because of his struggles, I would probably assume that the Mariners can use that as leverage to get the right deal to get him back. And I wouldn't mind having him back either in the Mariner bullpen. Obviously, the Mariners know a lot about him because they had him before. So if there's any team that can correct whatever ails Eric Swanson, it would be the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm totally down for it because, like, I mean, Toronto is just like, the situation there is just an absolute dumpster fire. It got to the point where Bichette and Guerrero are on trade talks, but looks like the Blue Jays general manager down. But regardless, their situation isn't exactly ideal. So that's why I think the Mariners are taken. And they've done it before. Like, they stuck in and got Norm Charlton when he wasn't wanted in '95, and Mariners have, and I'm sure they've done something like, and they have brought in people that did stink up the hole. Like Seawald was a stink hole when he was with the Mets, and he figured it out with the Mariners. So Mariners, if anything, they are the team that can make anything work. If only they just did not bring back Dominic Leone last year, because that was purely on this. I thought that was a 2014 nostalgic publicity stunt when they brought back Leone when he was also a 1-year wonder too, from what I remember.
Right. Well, right now the Toronto Blue Jays are currently last place in the East at 28-32. They're only 4 games below 500, 5 games out of the last wild card. So by no means are the Toronto Blue Jays done. But the thing about the Blue Jays is they just have not been able to pitch. Their bullpen has not been good, and of course, they're the 2 guys in their lineup that carry it, Vlad Jr. And Bo Bichette, got off to incredibly slow starts. No Matt Chapman. The ingredients that made them successful 2 years ago in 2022 are no longer there. So, it's going to be interesting. Like, as we mentioned off air, as important as the month of June is for the Seattle Mariners, it's also pivotal for a team like the Toronto Blue Jays, because they're the wild card in the seller's race. Because by the end of June, if they lose trail in the wild card and continue to stay in last place in the East, they're going to be officially done by the end of June, which means as of right now, because their GM came out and said that Vlad is not on the market, like they're not going to trade him. But by the end of this month, if things have not progressed in the right direction for Toronto, that's going to change. 100% that's going to change, because that's going to, they've had their window. Their window has been open for 3 years now, and for 3 years they have failed to take advantage of it. And as much as I, hate, for all the Blue Jays fans out there, as much as I hate to say it, it's probably time for that reset button. So you're going to have to make a decision which one of the 2 is going to be the one that you're going to hand the extension to, and which one are you going to trade to kickstart this rebuild.
It's really disappointing because the Blue Jays, they had a really good team. Yeah. I remember when Vlad Jr. in 21, after 21, he said, "Oh, that was just the movie trailer. 2022 is going to be the movie," and the Mariners were the ones that shut that down.
I remember when they traded for Jose Barrios from Minnesota. That was a guy that I wanted Seattle to trade for. Barrios was and still in a lot of ways a monster. I thought when he ended up in Toronto, I was like, holy shit, that team is going to win a World Series. It just didn't work out. And I think, from that standpoint, you look at what the Blue Jays have: Bichette, Dalton Varsho, Jordan Romano, even Barrios. They have some pieces out there that are going to be attractive for teams like the Seattle Mariners that desperately need to upgrade their offense. So they're in a really unique position where they can actually get very good hauls for some of these players.
And now we are going to get into the game. It is about to start, and here is the starting lineup. We got J.P. Crawford, Josh Rojas, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Ty France, Luke Raley, Mitch Haniger, Dom Canzone, and Dylan Moore. And actually, I don't hate this lineup at all. I don't hate it one bit.
No, as a matter of fact, you look at the top 4, and that's exactly what you and I have been basically crying for the last month. And not having Julio 3, Raleigh batting 4th. I don't mind Ty France batting 5th, because it certainly makes a little bit more sense than Mitch Haniger at this point. I actually, I'm fine with Haniger as a DH. That's cool. But for the most part, I'm actually at that point now where the only time I ever want to see Mitch Haniger play, and me, I'm a big Mitch Haniger guy, is when he's if he's swinging versus left-handed pitching, or given the occasional DH day. At this point, I just think the Mariners defensively and offensively are better suited with Raley and Canzone playing in the outfield right now.
Absolutely, because they have the better feet than Mitch Haniger does.
Sure.
And before we even get started, because we're in Oakland and that ugly Mount Davis is just super ugly, let's take a look and see what this stadium really was pre-1995-96.
Oh, gorgeous stadium. Very good stadium.
That mountain view.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, don't get me wrong. It's, the Coliseum is that old style Coliseum cookie cutter type stadium, but, with the open outfield, it was a gorgeous views. And it was actually one of the hardest parks to hit at, according to Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco, who obviously crushed a lot of home runs back in the day. They actually, had said that had they played in the old Kingdom or something like that, those numbers, their home run numbers probably would have eclipsed well before Mark McGuire did in '97. But that was a gorgeous stadium. And oh, by the way, Angels in the Outfield filmed in Oakland.
And we got the first pitch, and it's brought to you by SeatGeek, and JP Crawford check swings and fouls. And I've never seen Angels in the Outfield before, unfortunately.
That's kind of a dumb movie, but it's a kiddie baseball movie.
We got the 0-1 for JP Crawford. 80s must have been the prime time to watch baseball movies because it was The Natural, Bull Durham, Major League.
Yep.
And now we've got JP Crawford, who's looking at a 1-1. He's been very good in his last 11 games, 803 OPS. The pitch, and that is going to be taken for a strike. And we're looking at a 1-2 for JP Crawford.
Fastball down, fastball right there down in the zone. And that actually was the pitch that JP used to take into left field. Speaking of which, Estes throws his four-seam fastball 57% of the time, and then he'll throw a slider sweeper version about 18% of the time.
1-2 pitch, and that is fouled. I wonder if he's related to Sean Estes.
That's a good question. And by the way, the Mariners have faced Estes already this year. Back on May the 11th, Estes went 5 innings, only giving up 1 earned on 2 hits, and struck out 5. So this
and now here is going to be the 1-2. And that is going to be fouled again. And I did look up Sean Estes. He has 4 children, Jackson, Cody, Avery, and Asher, all live in Arizona. So clearly they are not related.
So they're not brothers?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Or even kids or whatever. Because it would have been kid. It would not make sense for a brother. 1-2. And now here's fly ball popped up. And that should be playable in the sun. Maybe it distracts. And he is there, makes the catch. And we got one down already. JP Crawford took 6 pitches to get out.
I believe, if my memory serves me correct, Sean Estes was a part of the Mariners organization.
He was, and the Mariners made some kind of a ridiculous trade to get rid of him. Yeah. I think it was a trade to get. They traded for Solomon Torres because at the time, Estes was a prospect.
Yep, drafted in the first round of the '91 draft, 11th overall.
Yep. Dang, and they traded that. It was, yep, I was right. They traded Wilson Delgado and Sean Estes for Solomon Torres, and Torres only had like 1 good game in '96 against the Twins. Thanks to you, gotta love these guys. 0-1, and that is fouled.
Yep, traded to the San Francisco Giants for Solomon Torres. Yep,
and he did absolutely nothing for the Mariners.
And then in 2001, he was traded to the Mets for Desi Rilliford and Soyoshi Shinjo. I remember Shinjo.
Shinjo, yeah. He had a run in the World Series, and that is a swing and a miss, strike 3, and we got 2 down already. And this is where maybe you get a little bit nervous.
Yeah, he throws the change up to the lefties as the out pitch, and there was that's a good pitch by Estes, right on the outer half, and gets a nice swing and miss from Josh Rojas. Yeah.
Now we've got Julio Rodriguez, the supposed superstar on the team, but not really right now. A pitch. And that is a strike. He's batting .269 with 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. But granted, he has done better as a 3 guy, but that's what we were crying for the entire year. So imagine how many games Mariners would be ahead if they just did this earlier. The 0-1, and that is going to be fouled, and that's going to be an 0-2 count for Julio Rodriguez. Mm-hmm. Career versus Joey Estes, 1 for 4 with a home run. Last 10 games, though, 359, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 7 runs scored. And now here is the 0-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 called just right in there. It was obvious, and that is going to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the first. Mariners were put down 1-2-3. I am so frustrated that I have to do this. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RooftopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. And thank you very much, and for those that have been using my code, I 100% thank you. It's been building my channel a little bit better. I definitely need to find a new sponsorship eventually. But here we are, and they're showing a commercial between David Ortiz and Jorge Posada. Interesting.
Hey, by the way, Julio Rodriguez, if you go by month-to-month splits, his best power month is the month of May. But his best quad/month all comes in the second half in the tune of July and August. So for those who are, stymied or upset by the production of Julio Rodriguez, just wait 30 days until we get into the month of July, and all of a sudden he's going to look and play like Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, I would think that right now, because he didn't have a good start, his MVP conversation might be out of the window already. It's gone.
Done. I would assume with a 15 to 20 home run second half, he might get back into that conversation, maybe a top 10, top 10 pushing top 5. But the fact that he got off to such a horrible start, that kind of puts the top 3 out of conversation.
And the fact that the Mariners are even leading the division is a miracle with his horrid performance. But factors are Mariners have amazing starters, and the entire division is an absolute dumpster fire.
Well, the thing about the 2024 Seattle Mariners is eerily similar to the 2021. Is they're very good in one-run games.
They finally got that figured out, because 2023 they were atrocious in those kind of games.
Yeah, they were pretty bad. Scott Service would manage himself last year. He managed himself out of wins in one-run games.
He did. And we're looking at the 1-0 count on Logan Gilbert, and here is the pitch. And that is low for a ball. And that is Abraham Toro, the former Mariner, who was off of that Kendall Graveman trade. And I remember I went on a huge Twitter X and Facebook rampage when that trade happened. And the 2-0 pitch to Toro. And now here's a fly ball to center field, but Julio should be there. And he makes the catch. That's going to be one down for Abraham Toro in the Oakland A's.
Logan's going to throw his four-seam fastball 32% of the time. He will mix in his slider 29% of the time. He's got the cutter and the split that he uses to left-handers, and he does occasionally throw the curveball. And he has faced the Oakland A's a lot in the past, and he's very good. And oh, by the way, the Mariners are 15-2 in the last 17 versus the A's.
Very absolute dominating. Here is the pitch, and that is going to be a strike by Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar is batting .368 with 2 home runs. I wonder if he was just a recent call-up. Gotta take a look at him.
No, he's been around for a minute. I think he was there last year.
17-24, you're correct. And
yeah,
here's the pitch. Oh, Andujar was part of the 2018 Yankees team where he hit 27 home runs. He was like a one-hit wonder, and then his body just betrayed him.
Yeah, Andujar's got a very good average in OBP, but his slugging numbers are down.
Here's the 1-1, and that is low for a ball, 2-1.
But that's the trait of a veteran player who's waiting for his bat to come around, his power to come around. Is his ability to find ways of getting on base and being productive. Kind of have to respect Andujar a little bit.
And now here is a 2-1. And that is foul, 2-2. We're taking a look at that Yankees team of 2018. It was Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, but he was a huge disappointment. Gleyber Torres, Didi Gregorius, Miguel Andujar, Brett Gardner when he was still around, Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton. And we're looking at the 2-2 for Andujar.
Sounds like a good team to me.
Here's a pitch. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. I mean, it was the team that beat the Mariners' home run record.
And there's the split right there. And what's great is there's just certain guys who are quintessential Oakland A's. Like when you think of the Oakland A's, Andujar is a guy that to me just comes to mind. Same thing.
So much I thought he was a prospect for 1 second.
Yeah, same thing with guys like Brent Rooker and Shea Langoliers. Those guys are just consummate Oakland A's.
And now we got JJ Bleday. He is up to the mound today. Let's see if or up to the plate. Let's see what he can do for his New York Yankees. Oakland A's mixed up.
That's a dude that I wouldn't mind seeing in Seattle as well, too, is JJ Bleday.
JJ Bleday, right now, he is 8 home runs and 22 RBI. So he is one of the crazy to think that seems to look sometimes more efficient than Julio.
I love Brent Rooker, and he is the guy, like, if you can get Rooker, get him. But Bleday is the other guy I wouldn't mind seeing patrolling the Mariner outfield.
They got Zach Geloff. He's struggling. Shea Langoliers is their best player right now.
Yeah, I like Langoliers too, but you got Cal Raleigh, so
yeah,
you don't need.
And we're looking at the 1-2 pitch for Bleday, and that is low for a ball. That is going to be a 2-2 count.
And he doesn't hit enough to be a first baseman, so.
And I looked up, and by the way, yesterday I looked up houses in Oakland, and they were really cringe to look at. They just were. Even in the suburbs. The 2-2 pitch, and that is popped up, and that should be playable. And that is going to be Luke Raley is there and makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Logan Gilbert, and we will go to the top of the second. No score, and no one's even gotten even a hit. But I was looking at Oakland, and let me, I guess, give you a sample size. Now, I wouldn't go to Oakland downtown itself. I don't think that's really fair to assess.
Sure.
But let's say if you're someone that lives in suburb area, that's something that should be worth looking at.
I would assume those houses are expensive.
Oh, under freaking statement. Let's go to, I guess, a okay area is like Lost Valley, Gloriette, Corliss Valley. Okay, check this. A $1.6 million house, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bedroom, 2021 square feet, but you do get a 10,000 square feet lot. And the house is not exactly new either. It is a 1962 built house.
It's ridiculous that a 3-bed, 2.5-bath Rambler is 1.6 when probably in 1999, 2000 that was probably about $150,000.
If you think that's bad, go to San Jose. That same exact house would easily cross $3 million for a crap Rambler like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My grandfather, who lives in Sacramento, he had a house like that, and that same house that I used to go to all the time, it is a $3 million freaking dollar house, and they still have not done any updates with it. But hey, you know what they say? The 3 important rules of real estate. It is location, and what's the third one?
Location.
Yep. So you can have a crap house, but if you're in an ideal location, yeah, the value goes up. But I would not want to be a real estate agent in California. Right, now here is a ground ball to the second baseman. He's got a ways to go to throw to first in time.
Yeah, but that's a direct result from Silicon Valley. All the money that that put into the area, all it did was
Apple started the whole damn thing.
Yeah, well, it created a bubble, right? It created a real estate bubble where if the money is there, then why not jack up the prices? And now you're talking about a couple
the pitch to France
has to make $200,000 a year just to afford that.
It's not even worth it.
It's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
1-0. And now we're looking at the 1-0 for France, and that is going to be popped up, and that's going to be 1-1 count for France. I mean, I know there's been a lot of backlash on San Francisco. Charles Barkley was making fun of them. There was always videos about them. You see it on YouTube, but nobody talks about Oakland. But then again, Oakland's well, yeah, it's Oakland kind of thing. So of course, no one's going to give it attention. But Oakland's a lot worse than San Francisco, easily. 1-1. Now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's fouled. Yep, that is fouled, just fouled. I lost count how many times the Mariners like have that kind of situation where it's so close. Next homestand, June 10th through June 16th. They'll be playing the White Sox and the Royals, and also be there for my show on June 12th, where it will be a Star Wars themed show. And now we're looking at the 1-2 for France, and that is outside for a ball 2-2.
Yeah.
But I do plan to go to Oakland sometime in September, and boy, am I going to say it may be my last time, and I kind of hope it is, because every time I go to Oakland, I'm scared to open the freaking door of my car. The 2-2, and that is up high for a ball. Oakland is the sister city to Chirag. Wait, what?
Chirac. Chirac.
Chirac.
Chicago.
Ah, that makes sense.
Chicago.
That's right. Now here's the 3-2.
Dude,
here's a ground ball fouled.
I remember when I moved. I remember when I moved here to Michigan, and my buddy was like, "Don't go to Detroit." I was like, "Have you ever been to Detroit?" He's like, "No." I was like,
my
"Okay."
father telling me that he wants to go to Detroit.
Detroit's
I heard the rep they're getting is negatively overblown by media.
Oh, it's 100%. Like, dude, the architecture is beautiful. Folks in Michigan are just great to begin with, anyways. But the city is great, man, and they've cleaned it up.
3-2. And he reached that one he shouldn't have reached, but maybe it would have been a strike. But that's going to be a fly ball, and that is out of there. And that is Daz Cameron. And guess who his father is?
Mike
Cameron, the second best all-time center fielder in Mariners history. Yeah, Julio, you're not getting number 2 anytime soon.
He looks like his dad. But you know what's great? You know what you don't see in downtown Michigan? Tents. You don't see it.
You don't see tents?
Nope. You don't see tents. You don't see homeless people taking dumps in the middle of the street in the middle of the afternoon. It's actually
San Francisco, yeah,
it's a nice city, man. It's going down there for a ball game. I always have a good time down in Detroit.
And we're looking at a swing and a miss, and that is a strike one. And since May 1st, Luke Raley, 306, 6 home runs, 13 RBIs. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent hitter.
And foul ball
since the start of May. By the way,
and they barely even used him in April, which was very bizarre.
Which was incredibly bizarre, and it was weird because he didn't have the greatest of springs. But what does that matter? A guy like Raley, the only way you're going to get him back into form is by giving him at bats. And I think the Mariners were only giving him like one at bat per week to start the season. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Now here's the 0-2.
I mean, if Luke Raley started as an everyday, maybe the Mariners would have picked up 2 more games. Not saying it would have been an instant impact, but at least 2 of those games could have been made up.
They would have played the lineup that they originally intended to have in spring training with Mitch Haniger only playing versus lefties.
Man, there's a part of me it's like we really should have just kept Suarez and Kelnick just to make, and then put Haniger as the DH. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, like I was okay with
strike 3 and down goes Luke Raley. The ball barely even leaves anything, and we go to the bottom of the second and no score. And
I was okay with them getting rid of Suarez. I mean, he had a good 2022, but he regressed last year, and he's 32 years old, so he's coming out of his prime. So it's better to get rid of him a year early before a year too late, and it opened up financial possibilities. I think
Mitch Garver.
I think this year's team, the way it's constructed, is better than last year's team.
Oh man, look at his numbers. Even Josh Rojas, even in limited games, is outplaying Gino Suarez, and it's pretty bad.
By the way, last week Raley was 5 for 22 home runs, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and a stolen base, versus Julio, who was 8 for 26 with just 4 RBIs, no extra base hits, and 1 stolen base.
Steven Diaz, my crazy solution is this. Find a way to trade for Paul Sewald and Eric Swanson back, and I think that will more than make up for the loss of Matt Brash. If we can bring those guys back, I think that would get everyone jacked up. All the bandwagoner fans will be like, "Oh, let's do this."
Well, getting Sewald back would mean that you can use Munoz in the correct spot that he's meant in
set
that
up
setup
man.
role. Right. But I would say that right now they're probably going to give him a couple days off, and I probably think you're going to see Ryan Stanek close out games, or even Spire, depending on the matchups. But we'll see. We'll see if he actually hits the DL. And of course, you're talking about a guy in Munoz who is no stranger to the DL.
He really isn't.
He's had injury issues. Staying healthy.
And we are back from the break. And Dirty Baseball, how's it going? And we are, I know I said it, back from the break. And Brent Rooker is up to the plate. He is their cleanup hitter. They're one of their power hitters of the team. 12 home runs, 39 RBIs.
I'll tell you what, Rook is wearing the Flyers number.
And that is a strike. And speak of Canzone, trade Canzone. Yeah, probably at this point if we can get anything. But another reason why they didn't play Luke Raley is because they were banking on Canzone to have like a breakout superstar type season more than Jared Kelenic, but that didn't happen. 0-1, and that is outside for a ball, 1-1.
That's the weirdest thing is like out of the two that we got, I would probably assume that they value Rojas a little bit more just because of the third base situation. But having guys like Kate Barlow and Clase down in Tacoma makes Canzone a little expendable. So if you could identify,
because Clase at least, I think Clase might have a higher wins above replacement than Dom Canzone. I want to take a look at that.
Well, he's a better defender and he's obviously got better speed. The offense is negligible.
Strike 3 call, down goes Brent Rooker.
But when you have Clase and Cade Marlowe down in Tacoma, you have that fourth outfield spot filled. And so if you're in a situation looking for a reliever, and if you can give up a good prospect and maybe a guy like Dom Canzone for a guy like Tanner Scott, you make the move.
And they're showing the Buhner Buzz cut night. And now here's a fly ball to deep left field, but Julio's going to be there. And he makes the catch. That's going to be 2 down.
I think I actually might participate in Buhner Buzz cut night from Michigan.
Yeah.
I might shave my head. I just hope we address pitching, and I'll be happy with Rooker as our first baseman. Rooker is not a first baseman. He's a corner outfielder. And we have 2 holes in our outfield, both in the corner spots, so it makes perfect sense if you're trading for Rooker.
I lied. Canzone still has a larger wins above replacement than Clase.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to
check that.
Well, the offense is negligible between the both of them, so.
But at least Mariners have won more games out of Clase in some times.
Well, I mean, I like Clase more because of his speed and what he gives you on the base paths. Something
1-0, swing and a miss. So he's basically your pinch runner of the future.
Yeah, I mean it's always good to have a Charles Gibson type player on your bench. You know what I mean?
Rich Amaral.
Yeah, for sure.
1-1, and that is going to be a 2-1. Rich Amaral still my all-time favorite utility because everyone's going to say Mark McLemore anyway.
Yeah. My guy was Doug Strange. I was always a big fan of Strange.
And now here's a ground ball right to Rojas to throw to first, and it's in time. And that is going to be another 1-2-3 inning by Logan Gilbert. We go to the top of the third. Still no score, and I have an Oakland story.
Oh.
So my father and I went to the Oakland A's game in 2023. We flew to Oakland because we wanted to catch a game before we go to Sacramento to see my grandmother for her 80th birthday. Interestingly, too, we were also going to meet my aunt who was coming from Toronto. And the plan was after the game, she meets me at this train station. So the original train station we were going to meet at, below it was like a bunch of tents and like broken down cars, like cars that just in the dump doing nothing. So once we saw that, we called our aunt and we were like, head over to the next stop because we are not taking that kind of risk. That's Oakland and that sucks. Yeah, and I heard at one point Oakland wasn't always like this. I heard their prime time was like the 1960s and 70s was like their prime.
Like how Cleveland hit its All-American city status in the 50s, and they had a boom as far as manufacturing and things like that. That was pretty much the same for the city of Oakland post-war. Industry around around their docks and all the harbor freight and things like that. Oakland at one point really was a very good West Coast town adjacent to San Francisco, and it was a place where people lived instead of the expensive alternative. It was the least expensive alternative to San Francisco. Oakland had great neighborhoods at one point, and then the 70s hit
fell apart.
And then the 80s, unfortunately with the crack epidemic, turned that town into a shit.
Yeah, so much for the Nancy Reagan "Just Say No" campaign. Did not age well at all. That's definitely a stain in the Reagan legacy, unfortunately. And here is Mitch Haniger, and we are looking at the 1-0, and here's the pitch, and that is fouled back, and that's going to be a 1-1 count.
Well, if you ask me, Reagan's stain was when he allowed the pharmaceutical companies to advertise on TV. That created Big Pharma, unfortunately.
And now we're looking at the 1-1. And here is the pitch. And YouTube is okay with us criticizing Reagan because.
Yeah. What you can't do is sing the praises of Donald Trump. Anything else but that. We can talk about really controversial topics except for that. That's off limits. He's the bad man. Remember,
he's a bad man. No, he's crazy. Like, no.
Remember, kids.
We're looking at the 2-2, and here's the pitch, and here's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and down goes Haniger. And so far in these first 2 to 3 innings so far, this has become a pitcher's duel.
And the crazy thing, it's not like the Mariners are seeing Estes for the first time. This is the second time that the Mariners have seen Estes. They know exactly what he's trying to do. He is a fastball guy. He sets up the secondary pitches with the fastball, and the Mariners again are just having issues.
And here is ugly swinging Dominic Canzone up to the plate, and
it's your boy.
It is my boy, the guy I said who was a sweet home run swing, but an ugly strikeout swing. It's very butt ugly. Yeah. And we're looking at the 0-1, the pitch outside for a ball.
And the problem is they're giving run to a guy who's not hitting 200, has a OBP below 300, and he's not slugging at all. And this is a problem that has to be addressed, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't keep running guys out there.
Should we call the people of Chicago White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf, and ask for their guy?
Who, Eloy Jimenez or Luis Robert?
And here is a fly ball to center field, and the guy didn't even have to move, and that's going to be 2 down already. Great.
Yeah. Good contact, though. I like the contact by.
I mean, that's what. You sound like a Root Sports-ish. I had to do that. No, Luis Robert Jr. is who they're looking at. Is the considerations.
That's a gamble, considering that dude is always hurt. And it's like, okay, you like the fact that he's got 3 more years before he hits.
Here's Dylan Moore.
But if you're only having,
did he go? Yes, he did.
It's the gamble is if you're paying the price to take on whatever his salary is going to be for the next 3 years and prospects paid out, and you're only getting 60 games a year for this guy.
Who get Mason Miller? I don't see the Mariners doing it because Oakland's going to ask for a ransom for Mason Miller.
That would be very beautiful. But that being said, it's like, getting a guy like Luis Robert, and if he can't stay healthy,
1-1.
Those are the type of moves that GMs get fired, man.
1-2. I looked at his numbers. I'm like, nah.
I mean, if he's healthy, Robert's an all-star. He's an all-star.
True. The 1-2.
He's
up
not
high
healthy.
for a ball. Let's take a look at Luis Robert Jr. He's 26 years old. He is an all-star caliber player. He was certainly last year for Chicago.
Sure.
But always injured, yes.
You look
He's
at
been
you
injured
look at
this
the
year,
games played.
2-2, and that has popped up. But maybe the Mariners, maybe they could leverage that and go, well, he's kind of a hurt man, so we can only give you
No,
we'll give you
like he
Dom
started.
Canzone.
They're going to say no to that. But he got his career started in 2020. Last year was
2-2.
the only
Swing
year
and a miss, strike 3.
that he played more than 100 games. 56 games in 2020, 68 2021, 98 in 2022, and this year he's only appeared in 8 games.
Oh, and dare I say, how is Estes has 5 strikeouts versus Logan's 2, so but Estes has been throwing quite a bit of pitches because of the strikeout, but either way, does it really matter?
Like if they ended up with, let's say that they ended up with Bo Bichette and Luis Robert at the deadline, I think I would be okay with that.
Yeah, why not?
I think I would be okay with that.
Do you think Vlad Guerrero Jr. is still carried by the name more than his performance at this point?
100%.
Because of his father.
I wouldn't be upset if we got Vlad Jr., but not for the price that Toronto thinks he's going to get. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't give up 3 top prospects and somebody from our 26 for him. I would definitely give him 2, but I wouldn't break the bank for a guy like Vlad Jr. as opposed to a dude like Bo Bichette, who I would have no problem doing that because he's going to hit. He's going to hit.
He's a big time player. Alexa, turn on the lights.
Okay.
Need the lighting.
Oh, that's funny. Alexa, turn on the lights. Bing! Rooftop, go fuck yourself.
I'm okay with that. If I get anything like that, that's actually the American sign of respect.
I'm just saying, I want my Alexa to give me a little spice. You know what I mean? I like the Alexa to mix it up.
I don't know. I think we need 2 more pitchers. Those should be a little easier to get probably, but Mariners offense is also bleeding to death. And like if this was 2023, Mariners would be in the same situation as they are now, as they were last year.
They need 2 in their bullpen, and I will say that if they ended up getting 1, and that second one is going to be the return of Santos, I'm okay with that. But that can't be the only, the move the bullpen you do for the bullpen. You have to go out there and bring in another high leverage arm. 100%.
And now we got Daz Cameron, the son of Mike Cameron.
I thought his name was Daz.
Daz Cameron. He's a cool guy. Mike Cameron always will be.
Mike,
I'm looking at the 0-2 for Mike Daz Cameron. Here is the pitch. And that is Cal Raleigh really tried to sell that for a strike, but that just didn't happen.
Talk about spicy. His dad is if you just take one look at his Twitter, his Twitter account, that dude
says a lot of things.
Yeah, he's spicy. I like though.
Now here is a line drive, and Julio's losing in the sun, and he's got it. Daz Cameron almost got a hit, and controversially, Mike Cameron also expressed his stance on the COVID shot, where he said he expressed he did not like those mandates and the judgment of people to people. Yeah. And I thought the Mariners were going to cancel a guy, but you can't cancel a guy that took over for Ken Griffey Jr. You just can't cancel that. It's Cammy.
You can't cancel Cammy. Or Shiggy. Yeah, and Shiggy.
But what about Winnie?
Yeah, let's go with Winnie.
No, here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that is gone. A home run for Zach Geloff. And there, Oakland just takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, fastball on the outside half the plate, and Geloff is being aggressive against Logan, and made him pay right there. And of course, this has kind of been the bugaboo for Logan the last couple starts. Is he's given up some dingers, man.
He really has. And to make me feel better, Steven Diaz awarded me with $2. I guess maybe he feels bad for me. He had to give me $2 to go through this torture already.
He gave up 3 home runs to the Brewers earlier in the year. And And then in Minnesota, he gave up a dinger. His next start against the Royals gave up a dinger. He gave up 2 to the Astros in his last start. So yeah, this is nothing
Max
new.
Schumann is now the hitter, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Like, I would like to say that home run given up by Logan Gilbert was like that. Oopsie.
Well, you mentioned that Geloff was struggling a little bit, but that's certainly one way to get right. Fastball a little outside and put a good.
And now
swing
here's a fly ball to right field, but Canzone is there and he makes the catch. I think a lot of people are going to be. Yes, he made the catch, but I think other than that, fans are really losing patience on Canzone. I am too. I wanted to give him a chance, and I think you had your doubts on him when the season started.
I had my doubts when we traded for him. I saw a guy who is much like a lot of the outfielders the Mariners have in their system, where you look at their AAA numbers and you see very good numbers and players that have the potential to be 20 home run guys, but for whatever reason just have never figured it out at the major league level.
But then you also look at their strikeout to walk ratio, which half of them are very disturbing.
Sure. Like, if you ask me right now, like, would I rather have Cade Marlowe or Dom Canzone? I think they're interchangeable. I think you get exactly the same, the same type of production. The only difference is Cade Marlowe can play all 3 outfield positions, and he's a little bit better getting on base.
He is. And he did hit a grand slam home run against the Angels.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at the 1-1 for Toro.
That is
a ball.
That's when Shauna's panties dropped, when Cade hit the grand slam.
Oh, I do not. I wish I was there on Twitter to see that.
Oh, God. Yeah, Shauna is the ultimate Cade Marlowe fan. I think that's her Twitter bio.
2-1. And now here's a ground ball foul.
Love Shauna, though.
We all do.
Yeah, her loyalty.
We need more fans like that because she helps brings exposure, some kind of exposure to minor league baseball. We need fans like that more.
Absolutely. It's
she's like minor leaguers get paid more.
She's one of those type of fans that you see on social media that love like specific Savannah Banana players, and by the way, Cade Marlowe used to play with the Savannah Bananas. So
now here is the 2-2. And that is fouled again. And Logan Gilbert is kind of feeling it because he just gave up that home run.
Yep. Yeah, Steven Diaz in the chat room is saying his fielding is kind of weird. I don't love his reaction speed, and he seems a little below average. I would agree.
The 2-2 pitch. And that is low, and that's going to be 3-2 for Abraham Toro.
For years, we've heard the term quad A player. He's a quad A player, and that basically means he's too good for AAA, but not good enough for the major leagues. And, the Mariners
Taylor
have had
Trammell.
Taylor Trammell.
3-2. And now here's a fly ball to left field, but Raley is there and makes the catch. And let's hope that the Mariners respond quickly on this one because it really just was one bad pitch that just happened to get away. Other than that, Logan Gilbert has been pitching very well. And now let's get to another commercial ad because I could use a breather for that.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there's a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We are proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
Well, if you would like some exterior renovations, go to Modern Exterior Solutions, 206-992-4465, 206-992-4465. Use the promo code Modern Rooftop for your 20% off. And we are still in commercial break at the moment, hoping that the Mariners can figure something out to get back in this game because they are down 1-0, and it was off a home run by Zach Geloff.
Yeah. It was, it was a fastball outside, but, good quick bat speed, and that ball goes over the left center field wall right there. So now it's time for the Mariner offense to regroup, and, again, it just baffles me. I mean, they've seen Estes before. They know exactly how he wants to work, and so now it's up to the Mariners to, put together a string of good at bats.
Here's JP Crawford, and that is a ball. And Joey Estes, by the way, is pitching a perfect game so far of 5 strikeouts. So will we witness history? Who knows? And now here's the 1-0.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, bro.
I have to. We're Mariners fans.
Yeah, but still, a perfect game is still a perfect game. They're rare.
Yeah, it'd be something worth posting about.
Especially in the modern
1-1.
game.
And that is a 1-2 count for JP Crawford.
With pitch counts and innings limits, it's very rare you see a perfect game these days.
You saw one just last year from the New York Yankees.
Sure.
Against Oakland. And before that, Felix held that for 8 years.
Yeah.
The 1-2. And that is up high for a ball, 2-2. JP Crawford's 1 for 6 in this series. Not been doing well. And his strikeout rate is slightly below the average. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled. And JP Crawford is really fighting this one.
Yeah, JP doesn't really strike out a lot.
He doesn't. And we're looking at the 2-2 for JP. And here's Estes. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be popped up, and that could be playable because of the big foul territory. Yep. And Toro is there and makes the catch.
Yep.
That's the one thing I'm not going to miss about this stadium is their ridiculous foul territory.
Yeah, and again, with fastball, again, this is kind of getting absurd, right? You're getting hittable pitches, and the old JP Crawford would take that to left field. And it's this team's inability to turn on a fastball. I think they're they're sitting on off speed all the time to the point where even hittable fastballs are getting fouled. It's kind of painful to watch.
It really is. Here is Josh Rojas. And now here is a fly ball to center field, and that's going to be caught by the center fielder. And we got 2 down already. It was a nice contact, but it just could not get down fast enough.
Swinging on the first pitch, and again, fastball. Decent contact there, but, first pitch swinging, and you're giving Estes a lot more ammunition than he needs, keeping his pitch count low.
And now here is... And before we get to Julio Rodriguez, Corey Seager just left tonight's game with a left hamstring tightness. And here's the pitch, and that is a foul ball.
By the way, the highest career OPS versus Oakland, Julio Rodriguez, 1.056.
So this is his opportunity. This is his time to shine.
Yeah.
For a guy who talked a big game, he's got to step it up. And now here is the 0-1 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field that is not going to get it done. He is there. He makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side once again. And once again, Mariners failed to score or even get a man on base. So much frustrating that I am going to play this ad right over here. Mariners Star Wars Night is on the way on June 12th, and you may want to feel like a Jedi or a Sith. Sabers Pro is the place for you. They have many different kinds of lightsabers, including the ones that belong to the Star Wars characters we loved, including Luke Skywalker. These are sabers that are not only customizable with the type of sounds and colors you would like, but also works great for dueling. Use my promo code ROOFTOP for 10% off your first purchase. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. I'm doing this because I got a Star Wars Night to think about, and I'm trying to get people to buy some lightsabers because those lightsabers look really cool.
If you buy one of those lightsabers and you use it for dueling, you are a nerd. 100%.
I am a nerd. Look at me. I got a Darth Vader over here. I got I talk about Star Wars like a geek. I know how to do I can do impressions of some scenes.
Hey, by the way, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, mind you. Embrace your inner nerd. Let that freak flag fly. I'm just saying. That is like 100% quintessential nerd paraphernalia right there.
Very much.
I love it, though. I love it.
Now they're talking to Brian Wu. Would have been fitting to have Brian Wu be pitching in this series because he is a California man. I think he's an Oakland man.
He's an Oakland guy.
Let's take a look and see if he actually is. I know he's a 49ers fan. He was born in Oakland, California. And I remember when Marine Layer Podcast asked him what he felt about the Seahawks, he didn't even answer because he is a 49ers fan.
By the way, you know who else is from Oakland, who has a lot of Seattle ties and who defends Seattle quite well?
Gary Payton.
Nope.
Marshawn
Yes,
Lynch.
There you go. Marshawn Lynch.
All about them action, boss. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah. Marshawn, Marshawn defends Seattle quite well. And by the way, for those who didn't know, he is the majority owner of the Oakland Roots USL soccer team.
Wouldn't have known. And that is a strike, and that's a 1-1.
Steven Diaz is an Eagles fan. I am an Eagles fan, too, of the band, not the football team.
Miguel Andujar. And we're looking at the 1-1 pitch, and here it is. And speak of, we've had a senator candidate that once said the Eagles are so much better than the Eagles. To be fair, he was probably referring to the 2017 Super Bowl champion versus the Donovan McNabb Super Bowl failed champion. So he did have a point. The 1-2 pitch, and that is inside for a ball, 2-2.
Yeah, the Eagles are terrible.
Well, they are now. They're not exactly what they were from that Super Bowl run, but they had a very lightweight schedule in their 22 run to the Super Bowl. The 2-2 pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to Ty France. He's going to toss it over to Gilbert, and that is going to be 1 out.
The same could be said about the Seahawks first Super Bowl run of 2005.
You thought that was also a light-heavy schedule they had?
They had a light schedule. Yeah, very much so.
The year before they had a very heavy schedule.
Yeah. And, after the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, their schedule has not been easy. They really haven't had a down year as far as schedule goes. It's pretty intense.
With the exception of 22, when they had a slightly easier schedule.
Sure.
And now here is the pitch. And now here is a fly ball, and that is going to get into the gap, and that is going to be a base hit. He's probably going to go to second base. Blade will go to second base, and now we've got a runner on second base. Runner is in scoring position with one down so far.
Again, another fastball, and this one, he turns it and puts it into the gap. So, very good piece of hitting right there.
Steven Diaz, ouch. That really hurts, man.
The awkward slant.
I didn't. If that same pass at least went to Doug Baldwin, I would have at least understood that. But because it went to Ricardo Lockett out of all people, I'm like, no.
No, see, here's the thing: is you're on the 1 yard line and you have enough time, plus you have a timeout, and you run the ball with Marshawn Lynch, and you do that until you need to use that timeout, and then after the timeout, you do it again.
The game was in their hand. The Super Bowl was in their hand.
Right. And all they had to do was hand it off to beast mode, and they win the Super Bowl.
Hand it to a fat guy you're in.
Yeah. I mean, it was really
1-0.
Pete
And
Carroll
a nice
got
splitter job by Logan Gilbert, 1-1 to Brent Rooker, 1 for 5 in the series.
Pete Carroll got entirely way too cute at the goal line.
He really did when he didn't have to.
And that was it. By the way, that one play is what ended what could have been potential the Seahawks dynasty. Had they
they would have not only, and here's a pop-up to Ty France, and he misses it. He doesn't make the catch. Not even, that was without the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, he's there. He just misplayed it.
That's embarrassing. It's not like the sun was in the sky or anything.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing about Ty France is we talk about value, and what value does a guy like Ty France bring, especially if he's not hitting. At least you can bank on the fact that he plays a decent first base, and then you see things like this where it doesn't even look like he's trying.
Nope. And here, and no throw to second base. It was going to be. But going back to that Seahawks team, like they were on the brink of being literally the most hated team, and they would have gotten more hate than what the Patriots ever got. And the Patriots would have been the laughing stock of the league. Everyone would have laughed at them. And the 1-2.
Had they beaten the Patriots, there's a good chance that guys like Sherman don't ask to be the highest paid cornerback. Guys like, core guys that probably would have taken less.
Marshawn Lynch wouldn't have checked out of the team.
Right. I mean, that changed everything. And Pete Carroll lost a lot of respect for that because he didn't even own it either. Him and Darrell Bevel kind of pushed accountability off on each other. And of course, at that point, all these players were like, you have to pay me, bro. And that's exactly what happened. And it was a shame too, because that crew would have taken less. They would have spread the money out and they would have at least tried for a third. They might have even won 2 more like that. Those guys were good.
Strike 3. Got 2 outs.
Team was good.
It was a very special team. It was like a one of a kind, of a once in a generation kind of team to watch, especially that defense. Like there was a point where watching that defense was more fun than watching the offense.
Yeah, and I think that could have stayed intact for at least another 3 to 5 more years. And unfortunately, when the wheels fell off, Pete Carroll tried to recreate that team in the years preceding and
didn't work out.
You can't.
And of course, Russell Wilson was also holding the team hostage with his ridiculous contract that he wanted. 0-1 to Shea. That's 0-1 to Shea Langoliers, and here is the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you've noticed, like difference with Tom Brady and everyone else. Tom Brady kept taking pay cuts because he wanted to build a legacy of Super Bowls, and that's what he did.
Yeah. Tom Brady made it up in endorsements, but yes, you're right. He took less on short-term deals, so he so they can keep the core intact. That's
1-1 for Shea Langoliers, and Russell Wilson didn't do that.
That's the thing. It's like Tom was making money outside of the game, and so he could afford to do it. But he understood that taking all that money is going to hamstring them to winning Super Bowls. And that is going to
be strike 2. And it would have probably messed up his career because he would have taken more hits. He wouldn't have had as much as longevity because he had a better line to protect him, better players to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think we will do about getting Cal some actual help? We need a true backup. True. Very true.
I want Tom Murphy back. He's doing nothing for the Giants. That's 2-2.
But I mean, what makes you think that he's going to come to Seattle and and do the things that he did in years past? I mean, I think Tom Murphy is 30 something.
Probably 32, probably around that. And we're looking at a 2-2 for Logan Gilbert. And here is the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. And another solid inning for Logan Gilbert other than that double. But we go to the top of the 5th. But still, it is still no score.
Yeah, he's 33. And he's only played in 13 games this year.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, if you had told me we can have last year's Tom Murphy, who hit 290 and had a OPS of 873.
He was probably he was easily the most efficient hitter of that entire offense last year.
Yeah, probably. And there was that talk in the middle of the season when they couldn't get any production at DH to have Tom Murphy beat the full-time DH, which actually would have made a tremendous amount of success because then when Cal needs a break behind it, you can pop him behind the plate.
Yeah, and Tom Murphy defensively couldn't have been worse than Sebi Savala, and it's not like Tom Murphy had a lights-out defense either.
And what's a shame though is now Sebi Savala is basically persona non grata because as you've seen, they've been using Mitch Garver. Yeah, and it's like that's something you don't really want to do, but if you're not even going to give Sebi some run, then what's he doing on your roster? It's time to DFA him then.
They just showed a tire commercial, the Hunguk tires. And I must say, when I looked at my Michelin tires on my Tesla, I was like, dang, like those tires gave me that look of that tire was basically telling me, don't mess with me. I am freaking Michelin, because I had the Continental tires, and man, have I learned Continental tires are garbage. And I think we can all agree that the good ones are like Hanguk tires, Michelin, and like Goodyear. Those are like the big three that you want to look at sometimes.
Also, man, I got Costco tires, and I'll tell you what, man, Costco tires are pretty solid, man.
Well, but yeah, but wait, was it actually Costco in-housed tires?
Yeah. They're I guess it's like whatever their Kirkland signature brand tire.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, I saved $500 on tires, and I have a 60,000 mile warranty on them, and
Longevity.
They're good.
And now here is the 0-1 going to be for Cal Raleigh, and a swing and a miss, strike two, and Estes is just handling them easily.
Yeah, he's cruising right now.
He's it's 5 strikeouts, 52 pitches, and this is a guy with a 5.11 ERA. Why didn't I add him on my fantasy team?
Yeah, well, because he's pitching against the Mariners, so we're already in the fifth, and and the Mariners haven't done a damn thing against him.
I'm gonna add a starter for whoever's tomorrow's game for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, but then watch the Mariners score 9 tomorrow.
I'm okay with that. JP Sears is going to be the guy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Against Brian Wu.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the bullpen's going to be busy tomorrow because Brian Wu is going to pitch maybe 60 innings, 66 innings.
Yeah, the Mariners have yet. Oh, they got what? Yeah, they have yet to get a hit yet.
And now we are looking at an 0-2 for Cal Raleigh. And here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to the foul territory. And that is going to be just foul. Well, not just foul, but just not catchable. I just added JP Sears for tomorrow.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that JP Sears, at times is very effective. But again, he's also very hittable.
And we're looking at the 0-2 for Cal. And now here's a fly ball to the center field, and that is going to be caught. And we got 2 down. Excuse me. I think it's 1 down. I don't even know at this point.
Sears' last start versus the Braves gave up 4 earned on 6 hits. There's 7. 5 Ks, 2 walks, but he's been getting touched up. He's had 3 starts this month, given up 4 runs or more.
We got 1 out so far. Here is Ty France, and that is a foul ball. And I can understand why I'm not getting a lot of viewers right now, other than the fact that I'm small. But who wants to watch this kind of game?
Yeah, this is
and the weather's gorgeous in Seattle, so it's like, what's in it for them?
Right. There's other things to do right now. It's summertime in Seattle, man. A lot of guys get outdoors.
And the throw to first. And it's like Ty France didn't even make the effort to run. He's like, nah, man. Nah.
Oh, boy.
And now we got Luke Raley up to the bat.
That's got to piss off a dude like Scott Service, where you see the error in the field when he didn't catch the foul ball, and then he puts a weak contact swing and doesn't even try to hustle it out.
Not at all. And here's the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss, and he was chasing. And they're showing, I guess Ion has tires too, and there's Hanguk tires.
Sweet.
But funny, in America they call it Hanguk, but us we call it Hanguk. Hanguk tires. The pitch. And that is a strike on the inside. 0-2.
Is Hanguk tires? Is that an Asian brand?
Literally Korean.
Okay.
Now here's the 0-2. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and that is going to be caught. And another, again, 1, 2, 3. We have a perfect game going into the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
really is. Against a guy with a 5 what ERA?
Yeah.
You know, it's commercial break. I gotta get a snack. I'm getting cranky because of this, so be right back.
Yeah, this is not what you would expect of a Mariner offense, right? Again, this isn't the first time that the Mariners have faced them, and you would think that the Mariners would have a solid game plan in place. You'd think that they would be seeing fastball tonight, but again, having troubles squaring up a fastball and chasing bad pitches. This is the bad form of the Mariner offense. This is quintessential Mariners offense. I think right now and this is the worst part. It's because they're only down by 1. This is still an easily winnable ball game for the Mariners, but it takes a little bit of discipline to be able to put together a good at bat, then string that up with a second good at bat, and at least try to get aggressive on the base pass when you do get runners. But the one thing that they cannot continue to afford to do is chase early in counts. And so far, that's as we saw it with the Luke Raley at bat right there. It's you get a fastball, put a swing on it, and you fly out to left field. It's kind of embarrassing.
Just to think that this is that home run is the only thing that's separating this game.
Yeah.
Logan Gilbert at 55 pitches, so you couldn't really ask anything more of him at this point. And here is JD Davis. And here is the pitch. And that is fouled. And now we're looking at the 0-1 for JD Davis. Batting .224. Here is the pitch. Now here's a line drive, and that's going to go to second base. Dylan Moore. Throw to first in time. We got one down. I'm going to put it on Twitter X right now. Fantasy baseball advice. Use any starter going against the Mariners. Unless it's the Angels, I guess. And here is Daz Cameron. Here is the pitch. And that is fouled. I actually want to see Daz Cameron hit a home run. So I can just put a YouTube video, a short going, Mike Cameron's son hits a home run against the Mariners.
Yeah.
He's trying to make a career out of something. And now here is the 0-1. And now here is a line drive, and that is going to be dropping in for a base hit. I think there was plenty of air time for Julio to catch that. I mean, call me crazy, but I think Julio could have caught that. But now Daz Cameron is at first base with a single. It was a nice little blooper. Logan was not happy about it. I mean, I guess it's really hard to track because I play outfield sometimes too, and I can't really track those really well either. Now here's Zach Geloff, the one who hit the home run that is separated between the Mariners and the Oakland A's. And it's going to be an 0-1 count. And we're looking at 0-1 for Zach Geloff, who has 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, and that's going to be low for a ball. Hopefully, we'll at least be able to do the 7th inning stretch within the next 15 minutes, but I doubt it at this pace. And now we are looking at the 1-1. Oh, and the throw gets away, and now Daz Cameron's going to go to second base. He might even go to third base, which he will. Will he challenge to go home? No, he's going to stay at third base. And a wild throw by Logan Gilbert. Ty France let that get away, and because of that huge foul territory, Daz Cameron got to third base.
Wow. And of course, Ty France taking his sweet time to go get the ball.
It was a horrible throw by Logan Gilbert.
I want to see this again, though, because, again, the throw can be errant, but if it's still catchable, it's still catchable. So let's see.
It wasn't catchable.
Yeah, it
was just heavily. But Ty France was the lack of hustle was really showing.
Yeah. And
the pitch.
Logan.
And check swing, did he go? He did not.
That's terrible.
Just to think that there's a fly ball to the deep just away for Daz Cameron to score. And Christian, how's it going? Thank you for being on this show.
And now what what Logan needs right here is a punch out.
He does
right here.
And the throw gets away, and Daz Cameron's come to the plate, and the throw to the plate, it is not in time. And Daz Cameron scores, and the Oakland A's take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and that was actually on Cal Raleigh. That was actually a catchable ball. That wasn't a pitch in the dirt. It wasn't wild. It was just a bad receive from Cal Raleigh at that point.
Yeah, he didn't. He was doing this. He should have done this.
Yeah, it was a bad receive that allowed Daz Cameron to score right there, and now all of a sudden it's 2-0, and it feels like this game is about to unravel.
Really is. I mean, Dan Wilson, to him, that's a routine stop right there.
Yeah, well, for Cal Raleigh, it's a routine stop. It's just a bad receive from Cal, and
3-1.
And the ball
swing
was
and a miss, strike two.
But Cameron gets his foot in first.
His father should be proud of him.
Yeah. Daz scoring against his dad's former team. That's a good pitch, though, for strike two.
For Zach Geloff.
The Zach attack.
And here is the 3-2. And now here is a line drive, and that is going to be dropping by Julio. And that's going to be another base hit. And I'm telling you, I think Julio should have caught that one. That was much closer than Daz Cameron. I know it's tough to tell where it's going to drop, but I think he should have went for that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, you're looking at a changeup right there, low in the zone, and Geloff gets out in front of it. But that being said, you're absolutely right. That was a playable ball for Julio, who decided to take the safe course of action, and instead of an out, it's a base hit right here and now.
Now we got some bunting going on.
Yeah, you're wondering if this is going to unravel.
It's starting to get to that because now Mariners don't have momentum on the offense, and Oakland knows that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like through all out, he's still pitching well. Throughout all of this, he's not pitching terribly.
And now here, no throw, and that was a stolen base for Geloff. And now we got, once again, a runner in scoring position, and this isn't going to end well at all. Flick of the switch says it's over. You know what? I don't blame you for saying it.
Yeah, I have a feeling it is too, unless something can happen and the Mariners can come back against Oakland's bullpen. But that being said, if Mr. Estes is carrying a perfect game, going into the seventh, he's probably going to finish it.
Man, I really wish I added. I just wasn't even thinking, because I wasn't even putting that attention on my fantasy baseball team because I just didn't care this week, and I'm already getting blown out. But it would have been funny just to say, "Hey, I just added Estes to my fantasy team."
It's crazy considering the Mariners came into this game winning 8 out of 9, 4 in a row, and then they have this performance.
Mariners have no hits. Flick of the switch. You are correct.
What they need,
and we're looking at a 3-1
switch.
And time's been called by the umpire.
Still only 1 out.
1 out, and it's a 2-0 game. You would think that this game is. Steve doesn't play fantasy baseball.
I do not play fantasy baseball. I like to enjoy my baseball season and not ruin it by the All-Star break.
And now we are looking at the 3-1 for Max Schumann. And now here's the pitch. And that is strike 2. But Christian, here's my team, and this is based on an 8-team league. I have Will Smith, Salvador Perez. I got Ketel Marte, Manny Machado, Ellie De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis, Cody Bellinger, Julio Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. Oh, no pitch. And we got Luis Rengifo, Jazz Chisholm, Jared Kelnick, Carlos Correa, Evan Turner. Oh, no. Trey Turner, Evan Carter. I'll give you the pitchers later. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Throw to first, and that is in time. We got 2 outs. Runner did advance to third base, though. DeHart is a war criminal. What? Gabriel Garcia, what are you talking about?
Oh, Mike DeHart?
There's a shooter named Kenneth DeHart who did a shooting in 2024 or April 5th, 2024.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I wonder how my YouTube channel got the attention of that.
I was looking at it like, who's DeHart?
I was thinking the same.
Well, apparently he's a war criminal, so there you go. But here's Zafori, though, and she's right on it.
And Texas has won, so the Mariners have to win today.
Well, they don't have to win, but you'd like to see it.
Yes, they
win.
do. We got to widen the gap. The pitch to Toro.
This isn't necessarily a must-win. This is one of those you kind of like to see it win, but
I just want to create a cushion for the last 10 games. I don't want that last 10 games stress like I did last year. That was not fun one bit.
And right now it looks like Gilbert's at 73 pitches.
He's getting
72.
gassed because of this inning.
Yep. So he probably has one more inning left in him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're looking at the 1-1. And here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 2. Maybe that was a foul ball. Couldn't tell.
Yeah.
74 pitches for Gilbert. And speak of 74, that was when Oakland completed their three-peat when they were the Reggie Jackson A's and Raleigh Fingers. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. And now to my pitchers, I have George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Diaz, Bryce Miller, Hunter Brown, Canning, and Suarez. And now here's the 2-2. And now here is a ground ball right to Dylan Moore. The throw to first in time. And that's going to retire the side. But Oakland comes up with another run. Mariners are going to have to find a way to not only break the perfect game, which would be the first step, but to also find a way to just score runs. And that was so frustrating that I'm going to play another. Actually, not this one. I'm going to play this one. Where is it? It was somewhere. Here it is. After a 7-3 start, the Sonics struggled in their first 36 games, where longtime coach Casey Jones was fired after posting an 18-18 record. After just 4 games with a 2-2 record from interim coach Bob Kloppenberg, the Sonics instead hired George Karl, who experienced many successes coaching in Europe. His coaching style emphasized on hard work and the importance of defense. The players responded to him well as the Sonics went on a 27-15 run to finish this season at 47-35, good enough for the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Throughout the season, the Sonics were contributed by scoring leaders Ricky Pierce and Eddie Johnson, and also Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, progressing throughout the season. In the 1991-1992 playoffs, the 6th-seeded Sonics squared off against the 3rd-seeded Golden State Warriors. The Sonics split the first 2 games, but however, the initial part of the series was remembered by an altercation between Sean Kemp and Warriors Alton Lister in Game 2 of the series.
Kemp is down, bodies all over the place.
In Games 3 and 4, the Sonics beat the Warriors in close margins, but however, those 2 games were most remembered by the performance of Sean Kemp with his amazing dunks and this dunk on Alton Lister.
Fires it cross court. Kemp's got it right up into the alley. Power slam! Tomahawk Sam! Yeah, baby!
Good golly, Miss Molly. What a dunk. What a slam.
I miss Kevin Calabro. I think we all do.
We all do. And they're talking about Lázaro Montes. Minor league co-players of the month was Montes. 6 home runs, 369 average, 32 RBIs with a 1.049 OPS. We could totally use someone like that right now. The pitch to Haniger, that is a ball.
I wonder if when the Sonics come back, is Kevin Calabro going to be the play-by-play?
Who knows?
Is he still down in Portland doing?
I think so. Yeah,
Trailblazers games. Yeah,
I can look it up. Now here's the 1-0 pitch and a swing and a miss, and we're really making a 5-point-something ERA guy look like
a wizard.
A wizard. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. The Mariners already have 2 errors
The
tonight.
pitch, and that is up high for a ball. From 2016 to 2020, he served as the voice of the Portland Trailblazers. So, nope, he is done. He left after the pandemic. Fine chickens in a barnyard. The 2-1. Flicking the switch. Keep typing those Kevin Calabro quotes. I'll try to express them the best I can.
Yeah, KC, man. I'd like to see him back. Calling
Along with Marcus Johnson, maybe. The 3-1.
Yeah, Marcus Johnson. I forgot about Marcus Johnson.
And the throw to first. And that is in time. The perfect game continues so far. 6 innings in, and Estes has not given up a hit. Not even a walk.
Nope.
But
But
now we got Dom Canzone.
At least Mitch took him to a 3-1 count before weakly tapping out to shortstop. So that's something.
That's brute sports language.
That's something.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Oh, the pitch.
A root
And that
sport
is a
apologist.
Oh, man.
How dare you?
And we're looking at the
How
0-1.
dare you?
The 0-1 pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that is a diving effort. And now here's the throw to first in time. A good stop by the first baseman.
Jeez.
This is just
This is
torture to
embarrassing.
watch.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let's see if we can get a seeing eye single here. That was a good. I mean, that really was a good play, but pretty routine down the first base line there for JD. Good
Trying to
play.
remember what other things Kevin Calabro said. And that's going to be outside for a ball by Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore is working on a 1-0.
He did use the word silky a lot.
Did he?
To describe jump shots as silky.
And now here's the fly ball to left field, and it's going to 3 outs, and the perfect game continues going into the top of the 7th inning. And do you have a little bit of time to wait? No, this could be bottom of 6, so you're going to be gone by the time we sing the 7th inning stretch.
That is correct, sir. Well, I was hoping that tonight we would see, a baseball game, but that's not what we are witnessing tonight. But I do hope the Mariners have the ability to come back and at least make it respectable. But if not, you folks will be watching a perfect game. So go M's, and thank you again.
I may make history on my channel.
I'll see you soon, my man.
See ya. Good day. Good night.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Who is your all-time favorite Mariner of all time? Mine is Alex Rodriguez. He is my all-time favorite Mariner, and I will not apologize for it. There goes Flick of the Switch too, huh? I don't blame you because this game is a stink hole. Oh, saying see you to Steve, huh? Joey Estes, yep, he has been just an absolute tear. It's just really difficult to watch. And also, if you can help me, please, to make me feel better after watching this completely torture of a game, Please, please, like, donate to this channel. Like, help me, help me, help me. Reese Beast, where have you been? I haven't seen you in like a year at least, almost. How have you been? And we got a pop up to Ty France, and he makes the catch. Wow, this team at Andres Munoz might as well be hitting for us. I guess so. That's a nice thing to watch about the Mariners as they lower everyone's ERA. That is correct. And now we've got next man up to the bat with 1 out so far. And here's J.J. Bleday. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be fouled. This game has absolutely been torture to watch. Like, I probably should have just enjoyed the beautiful Seattle light. Look at this. Look at the sunshine right there. And now I'm covering this game because I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing this for the fans. It's all for you guys because I love you all. Now, don't take that too seriously. And here's the 0-1. And that's going to be low for a ball. 1-1. Like, stuff like this tortures me all the time. And now we're looking at the 1-1 for J.J. Bleday. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. 1-2. And Bleday could not believe it. Still 2-0 Oakland. A Mike Tauchman walk-off. Christian, do I care? Nope. And Flick, you are flicking me off. Thank you. And now we're looking at the 1-2. And here is going to be the 1-2 pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to be 2 down for the Oakland A's. And we got 2 outs so far. Oh, Christian, come on, man. Just in the mood because of this game. And we're looking at the 0-2 for Brent Rooker. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be low for a ball. And also, in terms of my statistics, I am at... Let's take a look and see where my streak is at. I'm at 47% attendance rate for Mariners games. And now here is the pitch. And now here is a fly ball to center field, but Julio was there and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire the side. Logan Gilbert is visibly frustrated. And we are going to see if the offense can step up and make something happen. Since 2022, I have been growing this YouTube channel, and I just want to say thank you very much for being part of the growth and for the future. I now have memberships to offer for you. I got 2 different ones. I got Rooftop Fans and Rooftop Super Fans. For Rooftop Fans, which is $1.99 per month, you'll get loyalty badges to give you priorities for responses to comments, and you will even have access to special emojis that I made myself. As for Rooftop Super Fans, which is $4.99 per month, you will not only get the benefits of Rooftop Fans, you will also get priority to future videos, including nostalgic videos. So go ahead and check out my membership, and thank you for your support. Thank you very much for the support. Rooftop Fans, $1.99. Rooftop Super Fans, $4.99 per month. If you would love to support this channel, join these memberships because it'd be very, very helpful. There, I had to lower my camera just a little bit. Wow. Oh, Chicago White Sox is that bad, aren't they? I got to take a look and see how bad they really are. Chicago is at 15-47. Oosh. That is pretty bad, and they have lost 13 in a row. They're talking about 70s night for Mariners game on June 14th against the Texas Rangers. And now we're looking at J.P. Crawford. And here is the pitch. And now here is a fly ball to right field. Is that going to hold up? Is that going to keep going? And that is going to be off the wall. And the perfect game is over. J.P. Crawford is going to be at second base with a stand-up double. And the perfect game is finally over. I thought maybe that was going to be a catchable thing. J.P. Crawford had a nice one, but it hit off the wall. Any other stadium, that thing is gone. In my opinion, at least. We are 13-4 one-run games. Do you think we can... And now Josh Rojas hits the foul ball. I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. Josh Rojas is batting second right now. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line out. It's really hot in my room right now. And now we're looking at the 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. 1-1. Rojas batting .284 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. He is actually outplaying Eugenio Suarez. And as we got Adams in the bullpen, he is warming up. With runners in scoring position, he has 8 RBIs. The stadium was once a beautiful stadium, and then they turned it into some ugly monstrosity, to say the least. And here's what the stadium did look like before. That's what they should have kept it at, but that didn't happen. The pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 2. Rojas is awaiting. And now we are looking at the 1-2 for Rojas. And here's the pitch. Up high for a ball, 2-2. Rojas has a pretty lower strikeout rate than the MLB average, 18-22. Crawford is at second base trying to score. And here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball foul. Estes has pitched very well. He's given up the 1 hit to J.P. Crawford. Aside from that, he's just been absolutely dominant. 5 strikeouts for Estes. And now here's the pitch. Up high for ball 3. 3-2 the count for Josh Rojas. And Estes, he's looking for his signs. He's got what he wants. Checks J.P. Crawford at second base. And here is going to be the 3-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball. That's not going to get anything done. Daz Cameron is there. He makes the catch. And Crawford cannot go anywhere. There is no way he would have scored on that one. And now we got 1 down. And now up to the plate is going to be Julio Rodriguez. Julio's got to do something. Like, I don't think we're really asking him to hit a home run. We're just asking him to just make anything playable for J.P. Crawford to just score. And looks like, looks like he has done enough. Estes is going to be pulled, and we are going to get a bullpen pitcher in there. He was pitching a near perfect game. Maybe this could be the advantage for the Mariners, as maybe a change of scenery in the bullpen, different pitchers can do it, but Oakland does at least have somewhat of a decent bullpen. And let's take a look at the Mariners bullpen rankings, or just the bullpen rankings in general. Going to take a look at that right now. Oakland has the 4th best bullpen in baseball, while the Mariners are at 11. So maybe I wouldn't count on anything of a comeback. Probably wouldn't count on it at all, to be honest with you. Oh, man. What a day it has been. And it looks like we are back from the break. And here is Julio Rodriguez, and that is going to be for a ball. And that is Adams, the side-throwing bullpen pitcher. Josh Grudas, he swung the ball at ball 4. Yep. Not good. Maybe at bunt at this point. They should have bunted earlier. Here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball foul. It's like Josh Rojas should have just bunted, and that would have moved J.P. Crawford to third base. Julio is now 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. And now here is going to be the 1-1 pitch, and that is outside for a ball. 1, 2, and 1 for Julio Rodriguez. Julio batting .267 with 4 home runs. He's really got to get that going. And now here is going to be the 2-1 pitch, and that is fouled. And now it's going to be a 2-2. On deck is going to be Cal Raleigh. We're looking at the 2-2. Does Julio have it in him to make this happen? And here is the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be low for ball 3. Full count 3-2. Got Cal Raleigh on deck. And time has been called. And now we are looking at a 3-2 count on Julio Rodriguez. And now here is the pitch. And that is outside for ball 4. Take your base. And Julio Rodriguez gets on base with a walk.
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
Well, at least he got on base this time. And now here is big dumper Cal Raleigh. He's batting cleanup, as he should be. Oops. And he is working on an 0-2 count right now. And here is the pitch. And that just misses it for a ball. And the thing you want is you want Cal Raleigh to get any kind of offensive production going, because you have Ty France on deck, and he is Mr. Double Play. And now we're looking at the 1-0, and here's the pitch. And check swing, did he go? He did not go. That's going to be a 2-0 count so far. And now we're looking at the 2-0. And check swing, did he go? He did not. It's going to be a 3-0 count. I would take a red light. Well, no, maybe a green light because Ty France is up. And now we're looking at a 3-0 count for Cal Raleigh. And here is the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And now it's all up for grabs for Cal Raleigh. If it's anything good, and that was not really a good pitch to swing at anyway, because the insides are tough to swing at naturally. Adams is at 10 pitches right now. He is trying to get out of this jam. And it was when the Mariners broke the perfect game in the top of the 7th inning by J.P. Crawford, and he is still stranded at second base. And this is now the Mariners' best chance to try to at least get on the board. And now we're looking at the 3-1. And here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball. That is not going to get anything done. I don't think anyone's going to even move on this one. And that's going to be caught, and that's going to be 2 outs. And JP can't move anywhere. Another wasted opportunity for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh with that out. And now you got Ty France. I don't think he's going to really do anything on this one, to be honest with you, because it's Ty France. Just an absolutely disappointing way to waste it all. Plate. Now here's the pitch, and that is a strike, and that was an inside. And now we're looking at the 0-1 for Ty France. And now here is the pitch, and that is up high for a ball. And now we're looking at the 0-1-1. And now here's the 1-1. And that's going to be up high for a ball. Ty France this season with runners in scoring position bats .429, 1 home run and 10 RBI. So this is the opportunity for Ty France to step up and get something runs on the board. I'll be thrilled if they just get 1 freaking run. And now here is the 2-1 inside, and that should have hit him, but it didn't. And he does get hit, and he is going to go to first base, and the bases are going to be loaded, and I believe it's going to be for Luke Raley. Luke Raley has the bases loaded. Let's take a look and see if he can do something. It looks like we got the pitching coach coming out because Adams has been struggling, but he's got 2 outs. Now we got the southpaw McFarland in the bullpen. I wonder if they're going to pull him out, and yep, they are going to pull him out. Mark Kotze is going to get the lefty to go against Luke Raley to see if he can do that lefty-lefty matchup. And now with the bases loaded, I definitely need some kind of a breather. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RooftopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Yep, and use that promo code Rooftop Sports for $20 off, and hopefully Luke Raley can get something done. They're showing the Mariners commercial right now. Is Scott going to pull him? Most likely. Yeah, he's going to pull him. But maybe you don't pull him. If the Mariners get something going, he's only at 83 pitches. Maybe you keep him. And now we are going to be back from the break. And looks like we got a pinch hitter in Mitch Garver. Not sure about this decision because Mitch Garver isn't going to do any better either. I am not in favor of this decision at all. And Luke Raley is going to be, and here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Now you got to count ahead. And we're going to take a look at the splits for Luke Raley. Versus lefties, bats .225 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. And then and here is Mitch Garver, and he's taking it for another ball. It's going to be a 2-0 count for pitch by McFarland. in 2024 for the lefties, Luke Raley actually does better, batting .286, 1 home run and 2 RBI. So I really did question that decision. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a strike. I really did not agree with that decision to pull out Luke Raley. I would have just kept him in there. 1 career grand slam for Mitch Garver. And now we're looking at the 2-1 for Garver. Here's the pitch, and that is fouled right back, and that's going to be a 2-2 count. You might as well say he's going to strike out on this, unfortunately. Mitch Garver with the bases loaded, 1 for 2 with 5 RBI, so he does get those runs in. And now we're looking at the 2-2 for Garver. And now here is the pitch, and that's going to be a full count, 3-2. His WRC plus this season against lefties is a 122, so that's why they went with the analytics, but I wouldn't have done it. I think it's just on situational. Like, I would have given Luke Raley a chance because he's just been on fire in the past month. So I really did not agree with that decision. And now we're looking at the 3-2 count on Mitch Garver. Now here is the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that's not going to get anything done. The throw to first, and that is in time. And you would think, like, Mitch Garver should be hustling his ass off on that. He doesn't even do that. And the Mariners leave the bases loaded. And we go to, you know what? No. I'm just so angry about this that I'm going to play my most dorky commercial. This is how frustrating it is. Mariners Star Wars Night is on the way on June 12th, and you may want to feel like a Jedi or a Sith. Sabers Pro is the place for you. They have many different kinds of lightsabers, including the ones that belong to the Star Wars characters we loved, including Luke Skywalker. These are sabers that are not only customizable with the type of sounds and colors you would like, but also works great for dueling. Use my promo code ROOFTOP for 10% off your first purchase. Thank you, and may the Force be with you. That was just frustrating, but if you want to take out your frustrations, get this lightsaber. Get for 10% off. Let's do that. Oh, man. That was just pitiful. Like, I would have kept Luke Raley in there. Made no sense to pull him out. And by the way, I believe it's a 7th inning stretch, so I got to sing the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's how mad I was. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they've won 8 out of 9. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And Logan Gilbert's still on. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a strike on the inside. Pretty surprising to see Logan Gilbert still pitching. I really thought they would pull him out, but they will not. They are going to keep him in, as he has really kept this Mariners in the game. It really should be 1-0. Now here is the 1-0-1, and that is outside for a ball, and that's going to be a 1-1 count on Victor Robes. Oh, Victor Robos is making his Mariners debut. My bad. Excuse me. Now here's the 1-1. And now here's a ground ball right to Josh Rojas to throw to first, and that is in time. And we got one down. I'm still bothered by the fact that we pinch hit Mitch Garver for that. It's going to take me out 28 losses for Mariners supporters if the Mariners do more of that. Probably. And now here is the pitch to J.D. Davis. And now here's a line drive, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And that is fielded by their new guy, Victor Robles. And that is going to be Davis with a single. And I would still keep Scott Service, Logan Gilbert in there. I would not find a reason to pull him out. Not at all. And Logan Gilbert knew it. The way it was hit, he knew that was going to be a hit. And now here is Daz Cameron, who had a part of scoring that second run. And now here is the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. Logan Gilbert's approaching 90 pitches. You would think that this is probably going to be his final inning. Daz Cameron 1 for 2 with a single in the fifth, and he scored the run 0-1, and that is hitting the dirt, and that's going to be a 1-1 count. And now we are looking at the 1-1. And here is the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, could be double play ball to throw to second, to throw to first, and that is in time for the double play. And Logan Gilbert gets out of the inning rather quickly. We go to the top of the 8th inning. It is still 2-0 Oakland. 90 pitches for Logan Gilbert so far. That was really fast. But man, we really need some rallying. Whew. I gotta test this microphone. I think I accidentally hit the button by accident. Yeah, that's good. We're fine. And also, with this game still going on and just dragging along, make sure to donate to this channel. Don't forget to do that through the YouTube Super Chats or go through the Venmo. There's the link right there. That was already provided by Hannah. I definitely thank you for that. And we are back from the break. Don't really have a lot of YouTube viewers right now because Mariners are playing like a bunch of stink holes right now. And they're looking at the horizon of San Francisco skyline. And Mitch Haniger is up to the plate. Vinny Natoli is now on the mound for the Oakland A's. And A's bullpen is the 4th best in baseball, so you never want to fall behind to them. And now here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Mitch Haniger batting 7th in the order. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Strikeout and ground out, shall I say. He's batting .219 with 6 home runs and 24 RBIs. Mitch Haniger's got to do something to step up, but he hasn't been. And now here's the 1-0, and that is up high for a ball. Going to be a 2-0 count. Mitch is 1 for 6 in this series. And now we're looking at the 2-0 count by Natoli. And now here is the 2-0 pitch. And that is outside for ball 3. 3-0. And I would do a red light on this one. just try to get on base at this point. Because this game has been very torture to watch. Now we're looking at the 3-0 for Mitch, and now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Now it's all up to you, Mitch. If it's good somewhere in there, go for it. If it's bad, don't swing, which I couldn't have stated the more obvious. Now here's the 3-1. Now here's a line drive, and that's going to be a base hit. And Mitch Haniger gets on first base with a single. And now we got a runner on first base. And good hit by Mitch Haniger. Exit velocity of 100.9. This really makes me shake a lot. And now here is Canzone, and that is a swing and a miss. See, that's how you should have pinch hit. Maybe pinch hit out of Dom Canzone. And now we're looking at the 0-1 for Dominic Canzone. And here is going to be the 0-1 pitch, and that is going to be a foul ball. And that is going to be 0-2 for Dominic Canzone. He is 0 for 6 in this series. He has just been nothing short of atrocious. And here is going to be the 0-2 pitch on the way. And now here is a line drive, and that's going to be a base hit. We now got runners on first and second, and Haniger's at second base. And now we got runners on first and second. I already said that before. And Dominic Canzone finally gets his first hit of the series. We're just chipping them away. And now we've got Dylan Moore up to the plate. You would think that this would be a good situation for him. You know what I would do? I would just bunt. Just bunt. Like, see if that works. I would definitely try to see if bunting would be the ideal. And looks like Kotze is coming out, or the coach for Oakland. And has he seen enough? No, he's just going to have a conference. He's basically just saying this. It's the Mariners offense. They suck. Relax. You got this. Oakland at home has an 8-game losing streak at home. Mason Miller is also in the bullpen. I wonder if they're going to bring him in, which is why the Mariners have got to score at some points. Like, score before it's too late. Yeah, I would bunt. Absolutely. Bunt to get the big guys up there, the big three. And it's the fact that the Mariners are still in this, despite how sloppy they've been. It's been an absolute miracle. And now here is going to be the pitch. And here it is. And that is going to be in there for a strike. I wonder why they're not even attempting the bunt. Makes no sense. Scott Service has no strategy. And now we are looking at the 0-1. And here is the pitch. And that is going to be a fouled back, and that's going to be an 0-2. And now we are looking at the 0-2. And now here is going to be the 0-2 pitch on the way. And that is outside for a ball, 1-2. And here's the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's 1 out. See, that's the problem I have with Scott Service. He doesn't even tell his players to bunt when there is no outs with a man on first and second. And yet you get a strikeout anyway. We're just asking for bunts. But no, they want to try to hit home runs, which is ridiculous. And now The death blow has happened. Mason Miller's coming in. I gotta go to the bathroom. This is all full of, you know what? This is how I feel about Mason Miller coming in. Oh, man. Mason Miller, you might as well say this game is just ad. Over. So I'm not mad about the call not bunting. Why aren't you mad about it? I am. I don't know. Mason Miller, the best bullpen pitcher in baseball right now, especially with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, 101 to be exact. And now we are looking at a ball 1-0. Yeah, Mason Miller is a scary guy. And now here is the pitch, and that is fouled, and that's going to be strike one. Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball right there. And we're looking at the 1-1. And here's the pitch. And that is out inside, or hits the dirt, and that nearly got away. And now we're looking at the 2-1 count on J.P. Crawford. Would be absolutely nice if the Mariners can figure this out to get any runs on the board. Now here is the pitch. And now here's a pop-up. That's not going to get anything done. That's not even going to advance anyone. This is absolutely frustrating. And now Mitch Haniger tried to go, but he did not. And that is going to be 2 outs. Again, if Dylan Moore bunts, at least that could have been a sacrifice fly. But the fact that Scott Service refuses to bunt, especially with Dylan Moore with no outs, this is the result you get. Scott Service actually had a chance to win this game, and he refuses to take my advice. And we're looking at the Josh Rojas, the pitch. And that is going to be a line drive foul. I could have easily gotten 2 runs in there if that hit fair. It was a good swing by Josh Rojas. Who are the Scott Service lovers going to blame if we don't score a run here? They're just going to blame the umpire. They're just going to say it was the umpire's fault. Because it's always the umpire. That's the narrative that you have to take. Because if you dare criticize Scott Service, you're a bandwagon fan. And now here is the 0-1 pitch. And that is going to be a ball. I mean, I don't know about that, Zafori. I wouldn't count on that. Because the Mariners try to lose harder. And now we're looking at the 1-1. And here is the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to the second baseman to throw to first in time. And that's going to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 man left on. It's just absolutely frustrating. It really is. I don't know. But now I'm going to say this. Like, the fact that they won't even bunt at all, it just says it all. And Scott really did. Like, I really feel just demoralized after this inning. I really am demoralized. Like, nothing is more frustrating than that. It could have been 2-1 if Dylan Moore just bunted. Worst case scenario would have been a lot of things. And you just really got to feel bad for Logan Gilbert. He only gave up 1 earned run. Like, it's not like this game, if the Mariners lose, it's going to be his fault or anything. Yep. And now we got Mike Ballman. 19 strikeouts and 12 walks. Yuck. Probably because Haniger is slow, and we are down by 2, so it would have tied the runners if we just scored the 2. I don't know, but you just can't trust these hitters. Now, here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ball. Zach Geloff is 2 for 2. Stole a home run, a single, and a stolen base. And now we're looking at the 1-0, and here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field, and Julio should be there. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 down. I mean, I'm going to be upset, Kevin Kirby. We got to hold these teams to a standard, because here's the reason why this game is more critical than you think. Because if you don't win this game, that's going to put pressure to win the last game. And then you're going to go to Kansas City, where you're probably going to lose 2 of 3 of those games. So getting this to like maybe sweep the A's could have at least made up for the Kansas City series. And now you have to sweep against Chicago to definitely make up for possibly 2 series. Max Schauman is now 0 for 2 with a ground out and a flyout. 1-0. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-1 count by Baumann. Oakland is playing better than last year, true, but it's not like they're going to be contenders. We don't expect them to be. I mean, we have John Fisher trying to move this team out of here. Here's the 1-1, and that's going to be a strike, and that's going to be a 1-2 count. And now we are looking at the 1-2, and that is strike 3 called, and we got 2 outs so far. I honestly can't wait to get out of this game. And this game has been really breezing along. Baumann, only 6 pitches, already has 2 outs. Impressive. I like how the umpire does a strike 3. He's like this. And now here is the next hitter. Here is the pitch, and this is Abraham Toro, and that's going to be a strike because that's a foul ball. Paul Hyung, we cannot guarantee it. See what I did there? I called you Hyung. But Hyung, we can't. I'm calling you Hyung for now. Here's the 0-1, and that's going to be a 1-1. Well, yeah, we can't guarantee a victory tomorrow. We just can't, because Brian Woo's pitching as good as he is. Scott Service doesn't want him to pitch above 60 pitches, so it won't happen. The 1-1, and that's going to be a 1-2 count for Abraham Toro. And let's hope that Abraham Toro can strike out, which would be nice. Toronto playing better as soon as he leaves Seattle. Who are you talking about? The pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ty France. Tossed over the first, and that is in time. And this is the last try for the Mariners. The players that we've got Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and Ty France. I never understood how an MLB team gets shut out. Well, it's the Mariners. What do you expect, right? But I wonder what kind of a rallying cry that we could do to get this team all fired up. Do I play the good vibes only? Nope. Because he's not on the team anymore. Good vibes only doesn't exist. I got nothing to play. Well, I got this. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code ROOFTOPSPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Oh, yes, I should probably go to Costco. You're right, RPG. Oh, yep, I should have done that today, but my Michelin tires have been holding up already after one day. I mean, you really expect those tires to go flat real fast? I mean, they're freaking Michelin tires, because the last tires I had were those stupid Continental tires, and they're absolute garbage. Continental tires are garbage. Like, I want to look at their reviews and see how bad they really are, because they are bad. Yeah, Continental gets like a rating of 1 out of 5. Michelin is known for its longevity. So yes, I could have used another chores thing. Mason Miller is really good. Yes, he is the best relief pitcher in baseball. He is one of the reasons why Oakland is not exactly a dumpster fire like they were last year. And now here is Julio Rodriguez, and that is way outside for a ball. Julio has been struggling today, to say the least. He is 0 for 2. Walked in the 7th, though. And here is the 1-0. And that is outside for a ball once again. You're not going to get much out of Mason against Mason Miller. And Oakland is 24-38, by the way. Not good. The pitch. And that's going to be a strike. That was a dart. 101 mile an hour fastball. So Oakland is back to being one of the worst teams in baseball. So, and yet you're still losing to them. And now here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Julio tried that. And now he's down to 2 strikes already. And now we're looking at the 2-2 against Mason Miller. Mason Miller is quite a savage, which would be an absolute understatement. And here is the 2-2. And that is going to be a 3-2 count for Julio Rodriguez. 12 pitches for Miller so far. And now we're looking at the 3-2 pitch on the way. And that is a foul ball, and that's frustrating because that was easily something that you shouldn't have swung at. It was way outside the strike zone, and he still swung at it. So he robbed himself of a walk, unfortunately. And now we're looking at the 3-2. And now here is going to be the 3-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field. And that is going to be, that is gone. That is a home run for Julio Rodriguez. And he puts the Mariners on the board to give them a 1 run. And that's going to be a 2-1 Oakland lead. So the Mariners are still alive. That I was like, is that going to be caught? No, that's a home run by Julio Rodriguez. What a hit by Julio. And the Mariners still have life with no outs so far. And now you got Cal Raleigh up to the plate. Like, I was like, is that going? Is that going? That is gone. I was like, dang, off of Mason Miller. And now that is going to be 0-1 count on Cal Raleigh. Hopefully, maybe another home run job can do it. Now, here is the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. And now we are looking at the 1-1 pitch, and that is fouled once again. And that's why you bunt. Would have been a tie game. Yep, it really could have. Just absolutely frustrating. And now we're talking about the 1-2 pitch. And that is swing, and that's a foul ball. One and two count for Cal Raleigh. You can't really expect him to make it happen here because Mason Miller is just an absolute dominant of a pitcher. And now we're looking at the 1-2. And here is the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. 2-2, the count. 88-mile-an-hour pitch that was. Mason Miller looks very calm and collected. 0 for 3 is Cal Raleigh. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. And that is foul. And that's frustrating because that was way inside. And he still swung at it. Like, what were you going to get out of an inside pitch? You weren't going to get much, Cal Raleigh. So it really made no sense for you to try to hit that. And yes, it was 102-mile-an-hour heat. It is scary to watch that. Nothing more scary than that. And now here's the 2-2 pitch. And check swing, did he go? He did not. And Mason Miller is just throwing nothing but gas on on Cal Raleigh. Mason Miller at 21 pitches. I wonder if he's getting burned out by now. Maybe they'll pull him out. Hopefully they will. Ty France is on deck. And now Cal Raleigh is awaiting. And here is the 3-2 pitch on the way. And that is ball 4. Take your base.
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
I mean, I can't really take a walk because Ty France is Mr. Double Play. So I don't feel confident about this. But if he can get something going, then to each of its own, I guess. Now here is the pitch. And that is foul ball. That was another 100+ mile-an-hour fastball by Ty France. And by the way, Mariners have no outs, but this could easily end quickly because we know the Mariners are known for screwing things up. Ty France is batting .250 with 7 home runs and 26 RBIs. And we're looking at the 0-1 by Mason Miller, the pitch. And that is inside a 102. That kind of nearly hit him. At this point, I was like, just step into it because we need a walk. I don't trust you, Ty France. Cal Raleigh at first base right now. And here is the 1-1. And that is a strike. And that's going to be a 1-2 count on Ty France. On deck is going to be Victor Robles, which I don't feel good about that because, man, we wasted Luke Raley for that. And now we're looking at the 1-2. And here is the pitch. And that gets away. And that's not going to be enough for Cal Raleigh to even make a move. He's not that quick. So that ain't going to happen. And we're looking at the 2-2 count. And this is the second straight time that the game has been intense. And hopefully Mariners can figure something out to get out of it. And we're looking at the 2-2 count for Ty France. And now here is the 2-2 pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Yep. You know you can't depend on Ty France on that garbage. And now we got Victor Robles. I mean, you can't pinch run Cal Raleigh because Mitch Garver's already gone. So, I mean, Sebi Zavala, do you want him for the rest of the game if the Mariners have a rest of the game? Yep, and Ty France got fooled on that one. He should have not swung at it regardless. And now we got Victor Robles, one of the former contributors of the 2019 World Series champions, Washington Nationals. Victor Robles batting 6th in the order. 27 pitches for Miller. And now here is the pitch. And that is foul ball. That was another 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Victor Robles, in my opinion, should have got the start. I mean, I think they should just start him over Dom Canzone because Dom Canzone is just an absolute dumpster fire. He's been absolutely atrocious this season. 17 career high home runs in 2019 with the Washington National. Here's the 0-1. And now here's a ground ball, going to be a double play ball, throw to second and throw to first. And that is in time for the double play. And the ball game is over. The Mariners will go down and lose game 2 of this 3-game set against the Oakland A's. Mason Miller just barely got out of it. Not really. And must I say how frustrating that really was to watch, because like mistakes that really made no sense at all was like let's go over the game, shall we? So what happened was Mariners lost 2-1. Logan Gilbert was pitching absolutely fantastic. You just couldn't take anything away from him. You really just couldn't, because I mean, he was pitching extremely well and you couldn't ask anything more out of him. Yes, he gave up that home run. Yes, he had that wild throw that caused the second run for Daz Cameron to score. Mike Cameron's son, by the way. But here's the things that really got me in this game, that really bothered me, other than the fact that the Mariners just played like absolute butt on offense in the first 7 innings, of course. And then J.P. Crawford did break that perfect game. Mariners, of course, didn't score. But the thing that really bothered me were these following. Now, let me take a look and see when Luke Raley got on, or when he got off. So it was in the top of the 8th inning, I believe. No, it was the top of the 7th inning when the bases were, when there was an opportunity. Okay, no, this is not working. I got to start over at this point. I got to see, like, when Luke Raley was yanked. Yep, that's what it was. So what really bothered me the most was in the top of the, it was the top of the 7th inning. Mariners actually had an opportunity, like they actually had runners in scoring position. And then what happens? Like, what absolutely happens? The Mariners, Scott Service, he got rid of Luke Raley because Oakland decided to bring in a lefty. And then without knowing that Luke Raley is a .286 hitter against lefties, including a home run, he puts in Mitch Garver, who has been having an absolutely atrocious of a season. And for me to say is atrocious is an absolute understatement. Oh, but he has a good WRC plus against lefties. I don't care. That's not the analytics to look at. What about the fact that Luke Raley's batting .286 and he's doing a lot better in this past month than he did in April? But granted, April, he didn't really use him at all. But I don't get it. And then Mitch Garver grounds out, which was really frustrating to watch. Like, this whole analytics thing is just not working. The way Scott Service does it, he does it a lot worse than what Oakland does. He's trying to do Moneyball when he doesn't even know how to do Moneyball. Like, it's all based on skill, not just analytics. Not when Mitch Garver has been playing like absolute garbage and he's been an absolute free agent bust. Like, without those home runs, especially those key home runs, man, he'd be even worse. Now, top of the 8th, this is where it really, really got me. You had a runners on first and second. Dylan Moore's up to the plate. There's absolutely no outs. And what I was thinking was the Mariners should have just bunted. Like, at least bunt, because worst case scenario, you're going to get the runners on from first to second and third. And that could have gotten Josh Rojas to score on a sacrifice. Or Josh Rojas could have hit that fly ball, which he did. And that could have been the sacrifice fly to put it within a 1-run game. But no, Scott Service said, no, you still got to hit. Dylan Moore strikes out. Josh Rojas hits it into a place where Dylan Moore strikes out. J.P. Crawford then puts it in a position where you couldn't even move the runners either. And then Josh Rojas got out. Like, this was absolutely frustrating. And then you saw Julio Rodriguez hit that home run, fine. But had the Mariners just bunt, just put the bat down and just let Dylan Moore bunt, or if Dylan Moore asserts himself and does it, maybe this would be a tie game and this game would still be going on. So in my opinion, like, yeah, you can blame the offense for being absolute complete but my issue is you should have bunted. My issue is like they're afraid of the bunting because they're not willing to play that small ball. They want to play that nice home run kind of ball. And had the Mariners bunt, maybe this game would still be tied, still be going on, maybe a chance for a sweep. But now you have to play for survival to win the series so you don't go into Kansas City where you might actually lose that series. But those are my two takes on what this game was. Other than the fact that Oakland was pitching a perfect game, Scott Service puts in Mitch Garver over Luke Raley when Luke Raley's already hitting decent against lefties. And then the refusal to bunt in the top of the 8th inning. Those are what's cost the game. It's those little decisions that no one really pays attention to. Is they don't pay attention to these little decisions, which has been very costly. And that's why I think Scott Service is just not a good manager. But that's going to do it for me. I just want to say thank you for being on this show. I really appreciate all of you guys. Whether you give me $2, $1, or whatever, how much it is, I thank you very much for being part of this show. But that's going to do it. I got to get out of here. I got a video to cut. Everyone have a good night and go Mariners.